Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, bro.
How are you? Good?
Good.
Good.
Everything is okay. Well, I have to read what's up, please. That's some message. Okay. Well, we are still discussing about the idea of law. Now we turn to legal certainty. This I have promised you to discuss this topic this morning. Legal certainty. Before going further, is there any question about the last session? Okay. No one will answer. Sorry. No one will ask me a question. The question. Oh, okay. I go on. But you can also interrupt me with if I explain to you and you don't have it. You cannot understand, or it is not clear enough for you, and you can ask me some question. Legal certainty signifies two things. First, promulgation of general provisions. Okay. Promulgation of general provision which make individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted. So everybody knows what is prohibited and what is permitted. What are prohibited and what are permitted? Well, there's a assumption that if an act is not prohibited by law, it is permitted. It seems to be like that, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Still remember the last slides, Rix v. Palmer. Okay. Well, I return to the last slides. Still remember that? In this case, New York law did not provide like Article 912 of the Indonesian Civil Code. So there's no provision like Article 912 of the Indonesian Civil Code in New York law at the time. This means that Elmer is not prohibited to inherit his grandfather's property, but it didn't so happen. The New York court, based on majority of votes, decided that Elmer is not entitled to receive the inheritance. Why? Because he has done something that contradicts law and morality. Okay, so when something is not prohibited, it doesn't mean that it is permitted. Okay, this is my standpoint to define or to make the notion of law is based on moral. Law should be based on moral. If a rule is not based on moral, it is only a rule rather than a law. So to me, a rule is called law if it is based on moral. Otherwise, it's not law, even though it is made by the authority. This is my standpoint. So, legal certainty signifies two things. First, promulgation of general provisions which make individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted. Okay. I think it is meaningful to criminal law. You know, criminal law is based on legality principle. Legality principle refers to written law rather than unwritten law. In Latin, we know the words nullum delictum nulla puna sine previa lege unali. There's no criminal act unless it is provided by statute or statutory provision prior to the act. Before the act is conducted, there has been law or statutory provision that governs the act. So there's no retrospective law in criminal law. So it is true for criminal act. If it is not provided by law, or if it is not prohibited by criminal law, it is not a crime. Sexual intercourse outside marriage, for example, is it a crime? It is not prohibited by by law. Of course, it is prohibited by moral and religion, but it's not prohibited by law. It's not a crime. So whether or not one wants to make sexual intercourse outside marriage, it depends on themselves. So it is not a crime. Whether you want to eat or not, it's not provided by law. Fasting in the Ramadan day, for example, for Muslim, is it provided by law? No. But in Saudi Arabia, it is. This is my experience when I was in the United States. I have some friends from Saudi Arabia. There are two people who are close to me. One is a close friend. His name is Salah. Salah, like Muhammad Salah, Liverpool player. Salah Enani. But not wrong, Salah. But his name is Salah. He's close to me. And at a Ramadan day, at a time, he invited me to have lunch at a restaurant. And he told me, please don't tell Talal. Talal is Saudi Arabian too. Talal. Don't tell him if I invite you to have lunch at a restaurant because it is Ramadan day. Why? He is an attorney, district attorney. Peter, he told me, if Talal knows that I'm inviting you to this restaurant and he tells my superior, so, you know, there will be demotion to me. You know, demotion, not promotion, but demotion. Okay, I don't tell him. Well, I was invited to eat in a restaurant for lunch. Then another day, Talal invited me to go to restaurant.
Prof, namanya beneran tolol namanya, Prof.
Talal, not tolol.
Oh,
Talal.
Talal apa?
Talal, Thalal. Talal.
Oh, telol.
Not tolol, Talal.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
Talal.
Oh, kira namanya tolol, Prof.
Is Arab. Talal. Not tolol. No, not Talal. His name is Talal. I don't know what is in Arab means. Talal means talal, not talal. But because the Americans called him talal, right? Because talal, Thalal, talal.
THLOL.
No. THA.
Oh,
THALAL. Talal. 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 The talal. Talal is very.
I'm so sorry.
Talal.
Sorry. I heard it wrong. Sorry.
Talal. His name is Talal. And Talal invited me to go to a restaurant. And he told me, Peter, don't tell Salah that I'm inviting you to go to the restaurant.
Wait, salah tuh Muhammad Salah, Prof, maksudnya.
Muhammad Salah Enani. Muhammad
Oh,
Salah. Talal Muhammad Talal. Muhammad Talal.
aduh.
Salah Enani.
Baik,
Talal.
baik,
Well, I don't know. Talal Al Habsi, or I don't know. I forget
baik,
his
baik,
uh,
baik.
his family name.
Baik. Thank you for your explanation, Prof. I'm sorry
Okay.
for the
Talal.
I'm sorry
Talal
for
is
the
in Arab,
distraction. I
but they are
apologize.
good to me. You know, they are good to me. The Qairis is also good to me. They know that I'm a Christian, so but they're very tolerable. Allah told me, Peter, don't tell Salah,
Hey, hey,
don't
baik, Prof.
tell Salah that um, if I'm inviting you to the restaurant. Why? Because I'm a judge,
Hey,
and and I will be fired because in Saudi Arabia, because um, the Quran is the positive law. So uh, citizen, let alone the officials who do not um, who do not do for fasting in fasting months in the Ramadan day, they will be sanctioned. Okay,
okay, Prof.
okay. So it is in Saudi Arabia. So well, I'm lucky because I was treated by two friends who were very close to me. Okay, Halal and Salah. They're good to
Okay.
me.
Halal and salah. Okay. I get
Salah.
it.
Oh,
I get
you
it.
got it.
I get it.
Halal and Salah.
Baiklah.
Not halal. Halal is
Siap, Prof.
like a crazy.
Siap, Prof. Siap. Sekali Mas teh, maafin.
You know, halal in English.
Ah, what, Prof?
Halal. What is in English? Halal.
Salo apa tolol? Dia aku gak mau salah lagi, Prof.
Halal. Halal. What is halal in English?
Ah, oh,
Halal.
okay.
What is halal in English?
Apa ya?
Moron.
Do you know?
Idiot.
No, no, it is not halal.
Terus
It
apa?
is it a medicals.
I think it's moron.
Moron, right? Moron. Moron.
Oh, moron.
Moron.
Okay. Okay.
Or imbecile.
Moron. Okay, that's good. So, promulgation of general provision makes individual, well, why it is make not mix? Because it explains the provisions, not the promulgation. Okay? Please be careful. If I delete the comma and which, first promulgation of general provision mix individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted. Okay? Please, it is very tricky. First, promulgation of general provisions which make individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted. If I delete should be this one. because it explained about promulgation. Promulgation of general makes individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted. I think, to me, well, it is more appropriate. First, promulgation of general provisions makes individuals known what acts are prohibited or permitted, because makes here refers to promulgation. It is a singular. I think it is more appropriate. The second, securing individuals from authorities arbitrarily acts. Since learning the general provision, individuals may get known what can be done and imposed on individuals by the state. You know, well, if you turn to other textbook, I guess, the authors state that it is preventing individuals from the judge arbitrary act. I don't think so. Every authority, whether judge or administrator, administrative or the agency, can impose something, whether or not that a sidewalk, sidewalk fenders. Do you know sidewalk fenders? What is in Bahasa? Sidewalk fenders.
Trotoar.
Sidewalk fenders.
Pedagang kaki lima.
Yeah. PKL. Sidewalk fenders. Whether on sidewalks are permitted for vendors to build kiosk. You know kiosk?
Food stall.
Okay. For example, in Surabaya at that time, in the riversides, there are some vendors along the river. What I say, river bay, riversides, that Burisma have demolished the kiosk, and then she she localized the sidewalk vendors at a certain place, and it is not permitted to build a kiosk on sidewalk. Sidewalk is for pedestrian, you know pedestrian. Sidewalk is for pedestrian. It is in English, we call it sidewalk. In France, we call it trottoir. But the spelling is trottoir. Also in Dutch, trottoir. But in English, we call it sidewalk. But I don't know whether in British English is sidewalk or pavement. I don't know. But in the United States, sidewalk. There are many sidewalk vendors in the United States, in Washington, D.C. When I studied there, in front of like a giant grocery, there was also sidewalk vendor. So that they're not posted by the mayor. Okay, so legal certainty signifies two things. So you can learn the penal code if the acts are not prohibited by penal code. They are not crimes. They're not criminal acts. Okay. Well, now we turn to this way. Legal certainty refers to, first, conformity between legislation. This is important. Sometimes some legislation conflict each other. Sometimes some legislation conflict each other. Well, in Indonesia, for example, under children protection law, a child is someone who has not reached 18 years old. Have you reached 18 years old? No? Are you still 17? Or?
I'm still 17, Prof.
17? 17?
Yeah, I'm
17? 17, but more than 17?
Mm-hmm.
But not yet 18 years old?
No.
No. Okay. Razan, you are still a child.
Oh, thank you, Prof.
You are still a child. Okay. But have you reached 17 years old? 17 years old?
17, yes, I've reached 17.
Yes, okay. Shang, have you reached 18 years old?
Not yet, bro.
Not yet. Okay,
Next
you
year.
are still a child too. Hi, children.
Hello, sir.
Hello, children. I don't answer at the moment because it's not. It is well, I say it is inappropriate to ask a woman about age. Please don't ask a woman about age. Okay. If
Words to live by.
as men, as gentlemen, Arya, have you reached 18 years old?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, you are not a child anymore. Okay. Gabriel.
Yes.
Yes, okay, you're not a child anymore. Okay. Well, I will tell you the inconsistency of some legislation in Indonesia. According to Children Protection Act, a child is one who has not reached 18 years old. Okay. And General Election Commission regulation states that children are not permitted to vote or and to participate in a campaign. Okay, so you are young and the son are not allowed to participate in campaign and to vote. Sorry, but one who has reached 17 years old is eligible to vote. Your Razan and Zhang are 17 years old. Are you children? Yes. You are not allowed to participate in a campaign, but you are eligible to vote. Okay, it is contradiction, isn't it? Okay, so there's no legal certainty about the age of a child. So children are not allowed to join the campaigns, but children are eligible to vote. Okay. Are you with me? Can you? Well, I mean that. Have you got my explanation?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah. Okay. So conformity between legislations should be maintained. Well, I'll tell you in the Dutch law. Well, in the Netherlands, there's what we call Raad van State. Raad van State seems to be in Indonesia at that time, and in the old version of, or the original version of the 1945 Constitution is the Supreme Advisory Council. Supreme Advisory Council. In the original version of the 1945 Constitution, it was provision concerning the Supreme Advisory Council. I guess it was the Article 16, I guess, at the time. Supreme Advisory Council. Please check in the original version of the 1945 Constitution. Raad van State in the Netherlands has a function to check whether or not that bills that have been agreed upon or had been approved by the parliaments are consistent with other legislation. So there's no conflicting provision. There's no conflicting statutory provisions in legislations in the Netherlands. That, as I've told you just now, that child protecting Act and general provision regulations are in conflict. Okay? There's no legal certainty. I go further. Conformity between legislation and other relating legislation. Well, perhaps I will tell you this one. Article 39 of Act number 30 of 2004 on the Office of Notary. Please be careful. Notary or public notary in Indonesia is an official. He's not professional. He's an official. He's not professional. Lawyer is a professional. So notary in Indonesia is called public notary or civil notary because you cannot find notary like in Indonesia in in common law system states. Singapore, for example, Malaysia, you cannot find such a notary, such an Indonesian notary in Malaysia and Singapore, in India, Australia, United States, because they don't adopt notary like in a continental system. The notary in Indonesia is derived from Roman law. This is the reason why sometimes the notary is also called Latin notary because it is derived from Roman law. Roman law is adopted by continental states. The first state that adopted Roman law is, I think, France after French Revolution, but at the time, Italy, I guess, because you know that Roman was from Italy to Turkey. The East Roman Kingdom, you know, the East Roman Imperium was Byzantium, located at Turkey, at today's Turkey. This is the reason why also that seven churches laid down in the Revelation, the book of Revelation, are located in Turkey. Okay. Okay, it is about notary. So you cannot find notary in Singapore, Malaysia, India, or any other common law systems countries. First, a tenant should satisfy the following requirements. At least 18 years old. Okay. 18 years old. No longer a child. Sudasan, you are not eligible to appear before the notary. Okay. Because you're still a child.
Got it, Prof.
Okay. You are not allowed to sign a contract that should be countersigned from your parents, from your father.
Okay.
And capable of doing legal act. Now, this is matrimony. In bahasa, it is pernikahan. While our law, Act Number 1 of 1974, it is marriage. It's marital law, perkawinan. So there's no consistency between the legislation. It is inconsistent. At least 18 years old or has entered into matrimony. Matrimony is pernikahan. So if you say holy matrimony in the church, it is pernikahan kudus, matrimony. If you go to KUA or you invite penghulu, I don't know what is penghulu in English, to get married, it is also pernikahan, matrimony. But our law is marital law or marriage law, undang-undang perkawinan instead of pernikahan. Okay, it is inconsistent. Okay, again. So first, legal certainty deals with conformity between legislation. Conformity between legislation and other relating legislation is legal certainty. And Gabriel perhaps asked me, if there's a conflict, which one prevails over another? Is it your favorite question, Gabriel? Well, like General Election Commission's regulation and Child Protection Act conflict, which one prevails over another? Can we say that lex specialis or special law prevails over general law? In this case, it's different. because General Election Commission regulation is not a law. Sorry, it's not statute. It's not a legislation. That regulation. So the statute is superior to a regulation. Statutory provision is superior to regulation. So there's a conflict. I think the General Commission regulation should be declared invalid if it conflicts its superior. Okay, this is a problem. I have told you just now. Well, this is a problem. Why? If a state adopts the doctrine of stare decisis, so it may avoid conflict between judicial decision for the similar cases. Civil law system, like Indonesia, does not adopt the doctrine of stare decisis. Judge is given discretion very broad in Indonesia and other civil law system. So, is it possible to produce conflict between judicial decision? Sure. Sure. This is the problem of civil law system, because we don't adopt the doctrine of stare decisis. So judge has a broad discretion on it. The similar cases of the different courts may be decided much more differently. This is our problem. This is the reason why that I think there's a Supreme Court circular letter that well, not order, but that suggests that judges, well, judges shall make judicial decision as a guidance, only a guidance, not a mandatory, that it is a guidance, only a guidance. Okay, power to create legal certainty. So if someone like Ibu Asiani was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment with probation for 15 months. And then there will be another case, the similar case like that. I think the sentence, is similar to that, because it is made a guidance to create legal certainty. Okay, this is our problem with the civil law system. So that in common law system that adopts the doctrine of stare decisis, I think it is quite possible that there's consistency of judicial decision. Okay. Well, this is my question. Now, maintenance of legal certainty. Government is not allowed to issue implementing regulation that is not assigned by legislation or that contradicts legislation. Government is not allowed to issue implementing regulation that is not assigned by legislation or that contradicts legislation. You still remember in the Indonesian in the course of introduction to Indonesian law, I give you a hierarchy of laws. Still remember that? You remember that? That constitution is supreme. Then act or law or government regulation in lieu of law in Indonesia. Then implementing regulation, the government regulation, then the presidential regulation. So the government regulation is not allowed to contradict legislation. Government regulation is not allowed to contradict government contradict the legislation. Okay. If it does, like General Commission regulation and Child Protection Act, which one shall prevail? The statute, Child Protection Act. But at the time, the General Commission, or if it is laid down at the General Commission law, okay, it's no problem. If it is provided in General Commission law, okay, because General Commission law is special law to child protection law, because it deals with general election. Sorry, general election law, not General Commission. General election law is a special law because it deals with general election. This is a recommendation. This is a suggestion in the civil law system. Despite the fact that the state does not adopt the doctrine of stare decisis, the court of the state relies upon previous court decision of state for similar cases. This is suggestion. I think it is strongly recommended that the subsequent judge refer to previous court decision for the similar cases. Okay, it is strongly recommended. Even though it is not mandatory, it is strongly recommended that judge for the subsequent judge who tries the similar case refer to previous court decision. Okay, this is strongly recommended. Well, sorry, I have to terminate this session because I have something to do with the bank. Because my ATM card has expired, and I cannot do anything with my ATM unless I have to go to Mandiri Bank. Okay, may I stop this session?
Yes, Prof.
I need your permission.
Yes, Prof. It's okay.
But if you have any question, please.
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Okay, Prof.
Okay. Well, sorry, because I have to do something.
It's okay, Prof.
It's okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof, for today's
Thank you,
session.
Prof.
Okay. Bye bye.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, Prof.
Have a nice day.
God bless
You
you.
too. You too. God bless you. God bless you.
Alhamdulillah.